to go into. So it's just a journey. It's a journey, and it's not easy. And being a Christian, it's harder. Yes, it's harder, but He gives you the power to overcome. He gives you the strength. He gives you everything that you need. Like, when we are weak, He is strong in us. And so when I lack creativity, when I don't know what to say, when my mind goes blank, He fills my mouth. He shows up for me. And so all I have to do is just open up my mouth. All I have to do is just open up that document. I have the ideas, just write it down. God is going to literally pour into you and give you what you need to do in order to
Hello, everyone, and thank you, and welcome to Therapeutic Tuesdays podcast. And every Tuesday, I am super excited because it gives me and a kingdom woman filled with so much faith and wisdom the opportunity to bless you and share our testimony so you can get closer to God. Yeah, there's a problem in this world, and the problem is people lack abundance in their life because they need Jesus Christ. So we at Therapeutic Tuesdays podcast, we are on a mission to help you solve it. It's not to say that you're not going to go through things, but through the testimonies, we pray that it brings you closer and gets you on fire with Jesus Christ. So I am super excited for this woman of God. I was blessed by her from her Instagram's post, from her YouTube channel, and I prayed about it, and the Spirit said, reach out to Miss Sonia. Sonia is a virtuous woman of God. She is a joyful woman. She is a creative entrepreneur, a virtual assistant who is all about serving. Sonia, welcome to Therapeutic Tuesdays podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Sonia, how are you feeling this Tuesday?
I'm feeling awesome. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling blessed. Honestly, just the prayers and just everything that God is doing in this time. Like, I'm just truly receiving everything that He has.
That is beautiful. And your platforms and your serving, it embodies you, Sonia. Audience, y'all already know how we do every Tuesday. Go ahead and grab your journal and grab your tea, and we are about to have a therapeutic conversation. And the name of this awesome podcast interview is Creative Collaboration and Connectivity with God. And Sonia really embodies this. And the scripture that I would love for y'all to go along with this podcast comes from Exodus 31:3, and it reads this: I have filled him with the Spirit of God, giving him great wisdom, ability, and expertise in all kinds of crafts. You know what that's telling me today? And we're going to call this our creative audience, is that with God, He gives us spiritual gifts. So go to Him about your spiritual gift and He will bless you. I mean, Sonia, when I say creative, because you your body creative. When I say that, what does that mean to you?
So what creative means to me, honestly, is just truly allowing the Lord to kind of speak to you and inspire you. So many times we can kind of get mixed up with like creativity of the world versus like creativity that comes from God. The worldly creativity, that's just their own thing. It's inspired by their traumas. It's inspired by things that are just not good. But as far as like creativity that comes from God and, just the creativity that He gives us, like activity with God is because He's the ultimate creator. He is the creative. We are not creators without Him. And so just allowing Him to pour into you, and from that overflow and what you end up doing with your life, you're embodying who He is. You're embodying who He created you to be. And I would just say, like, just being a creative and having that connection with God is just important as a creative. I don't know if that was just like in circles, but
no, that was perfect because you're so right. God is the creator. He created us, so all creation has to come from him. I love that, Sonia. You embody that every day.
Ryan.
Sonia, we want to know, our creative audience wants to know. So you are a woman of God. Tell us about your path with God. How did you get closer to God and want to be on this path to say, hey, you know what, Lord, I need you all up in my creative life?
So just in short, like my testimony started in February 2021. I was just doing things on my own, like truly just exploring and trying to understand what it is that I actually like to do. I ended up, getting into a collective, and like it was very worldly, so it wasn't based on the godly principles, but it was more so based on like other spiritual things, like just like astrology and things like that, where we just founded our creativity on that. And so that like inspired me to get into painting. It inspired me to just explore just like what I actually like to do. Because when I was a child, I grew up just honestly loving to paint, loving to draw, loving to being creative overall. So like during that time of trying to explore myself and understand who I am, just that passion for creativity, that passion to just express myself was so strong. I was in biotech during that time for a year working at a corporate job. So it just wasn't fulfilling. And so I found my fulfillment in, just finding creative things to do. And so I got myself in a creative collective. It wasn't founded on the Lord, but I truly learned a lot of just skills that I still use to this day in that collective. So of course, as you know, like God can use anything. He can use your past. He can use the things that you've gone through in your journey, and you don't realize that the things that you learned in the past are probably going to be the things that God is going to use to just show you where you are right now, or just use it for today. So in that journey, as I was seeking and truly just finding myself, I came to a place where, I started to feel depressed because I just wasn't feeling fulfilled. And so, yes, creativity and the outlet was great, but I wasn't feeling fulfilled in what I was doing, who I was at that time. I ended up just, one night, just having that radical encounter with God. I was crying out to him. I was asking him questions and wondering, like, God, like, am I on the wrong path? Like, I was always wondering, like, am I even worshiping the right God? Like, God, does this spirituality stuff, like, does that align with you? It sounds good. It feels good. It makes me feel good. But is this really of you, And so as I was just asking myself those questions and really just crying out to the Lord, he revealed himself to me that night, that one night. And after he revealed himself to me, literally everything changed. The next night I felt like the next morning, the moment I woke up, I felt like a brand new baby, like that newborn, like feeling, like that born again feeling that you feel when you come to Christ and you come to the knowledge of Christ. He starts to really just show your imperfections. He shows you that these are things that you've been doing for so long. You don't realize that's something that wasn't right. It wasn't founded on good foundation. It wasn't founded on him. And so I just, from that moment on, I renounced all of the spirituality, that witchcraft, that occultism, just like the paintings that I did in that time. Like I even, like the Lord instructed me to kind of throw those away because it wasn't from like a pure place. It wasn't me creating from a place of just purity. So just having to get rid of the things of the past and allowing God to just come into the new. And from that moment on, when I got saved, I moved to Dallas, and that's when I decided to truly just really take this seriously. Like this freelancing world, this creative world, like I already had that experience with the collective, but I was like, you know what? how much more could I accomplish with God? If I allow God into this, I'm already a creative. I already know how to create, but just how much more would it be to just include God in it and letting him be the foundation of it? So it's like, you just never know the people, like the events that you end up going to. You just don't know what God can do. And so just allowing him in that, I was able to really connect with divine connections, like divine people who have been pushing me to purpose. Literally, I have a friend who is a purpose pusher, and the Lord connected me with her. She taught me all of the foundations of entrepreneurship. She taught me how to be confident in my creativity and just being okay with like being different and not being like everybody else, because everybody else, they have that worldly view. You know, when you're Christian, you have certain values and standards you have to uphold in that space of, you know, entrepreneurship. You can't just do business like everybody. You have to do it with integrity. You have to do it with the godly character and the fruits of the Spirit. And so just, you know, just the divine connections on this path, it wasn't easy. You know, accepting Christ into your life is not going to make life easier. He literally says he has, in the word somewhere in Matthew, he said that he has nowhere to lay his head. So he's basically saying that if you choose to follow him, it's not guaranteed an easy life. Not everything's going to be beautiful and roses. And although, yes, we experience that love and that peace and that joy when we do receive his Spirit and we do end up following him, we're just not guaranteed that, you know, everything's just going to fall into my lap and everything's going to be perfect. And so just on that journey and understanding, okay, God, like I'm on this journey, it just became like this big old faith journey. Like, you know, just being saved and walking a walk with Christ, it's already a faith journey. But just imagine like, okay, now I'm going to trust you with my finances. Now I'm going to trust you with my skills. Now I'm really going to trust you with my talent. It's like faith without works is dead. And so if we're like, okay, God, I really want to do this so bad, but you're not actually going out and doing it and allowing him to work in you to do that. It's like, I mean, why are you asking? You know, you have to put your foot out there. You have to go and meet people. You have to, you know, introduce yourself to certain people or even just whoever, and just start walking in that confidently and knowing who you are, so that, you know, God could really move and move on your desires. So it's just a journey. It's a journey, and it's not easy. And, you know, being a Christian, it's harder. Yes, it's harder, but he gives you the power to overcome. He gives you the strength. He gives you everything that you need. Like, when we are weak, he is strong in us. And so when I lack creativity, when I don't know what to say, when my mind goes blank, he fills my mouth. He shows up for me. And so all I have to do is just open up my mouth. All I have to do is just open up that document. I have the ideas, just write it down. God is going to literally pour into you and give you what you need to do in order to you know, reach your goal, whatever it is that he's calling you to. But it's just really just that dependence on God. Yes, we're connected to God, but it's really just God. Like, this is God. Like, our lives are for him, is to glorify him. The fruit of our lives should always point back to him, and it should always point back to his people, because the second commandment is, you know, love yourself as you love, love others as you love yourself. And so, you know, even the fruit of the work that you're doing, you have to have that servant heart. The things that you're doing, using your creativity for the good of others. So it's definitely a blessing. It definitely is it's just so much. There's so much that I've experienced. There's so many testimonies, but honestly, like, I just really just thank God for where I am right now. I'm nowhere where I want to be or where I think I should be, but just having that gratitude and like seeing like, okay, I'm happy I'm not where I used to be. Like, I'm so blessed that I'm literally where I came out of, because where I was before is nothing compared to what God is doing now. So having that gratitude, that joy of the Lord, just being thankful and content in every season. Because honestly, like, there are times when God tries, you know, where God does want to lay you low for a moment. You know, sometimes you're like, oh, I just want to go out there. I want to create. I want to do this. I want to do that. There are times where God is calling you to consecration. There are times where God does call you to a season of rest where you can just, you know, receive his outpour, receive, you know, him filling you up and receive the connections that he needs to put you in. So it's more so just a walk of obedience as well. But like, just not being afraid to just move forward and having that faith. Because faith, you know, by faith, you're pleasing God. It is by faith and by faith alone, nothing else. And so there's nothing more pleasing to God than your faith. And so if you have faith in that area of entrepreneurship or whatever it is that you want to do, like, it's that faith that pleases God. He's already pleased with you, that you have the faith to actually go out and pursue it. So, yeah.
Sonia, first and foremost, congratulations on your journey with God, because it's first getting to a point to realize that, hey, I need God. So congratulations to you, sis. I can remember there was a few pivotal things that you said, but I can remember just going to the world and at a time feeling unfulfilled and going out to parties all the time and going out and drinking. And it's in that moment when we are weak and saying, God, I'm not fulfilled. I've been doing this. It instantly gratifies you, but when you go home and that has wear off, then you're back to the same root problem. And that's the problem, is it's only true peace, true love, true joy only comes from God. So I resonate with you so much. I also love, that was very pivotal, is that when you said that, you recognize that, hey, there's something wrong. This astrology is not working for me. God, what is it? So you had an open heart posture and you said, God, what is it that you can do for me? That was very pivotal. And then you also said the faith. Faith is hoping and believing in things we cannot see. 2 Corinthians 5 verse 7 says, for we walk by faith and not by sight. And that is so important in this world where problems arise. And Sonia, you also mentioned, and it's so true, being a Christian is not going to be easy, but God makes it easier. We're going to face persecution just like Jesus did, but we're going to get through it. So thank you so much, because that story is beautiful and it resonates with me so much. And Sonia, with that being said, you have this relationship with God that you're cultivating every single day. How does your relationship of God make you connect with other people, all types of people?
Mm-hmm. So just my connection with the Lord, I mean, the connection is obedience. Our relationship with God, his command is to obey his voice. And so I have not been perfect. My walk is not perfect. Sometimes I do shut the door on myself. Like sometimes I don't allow myself to go in doors that God is like pushing me to go through. But it's like, honestly, when we truly just sit there and even in the times where I obey, when I listen to the voice of God and I book that ticket that I know I can't afford, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go anyways. God literally puts me in the places that I need to be in at the right time. There have been divine connections where I really was 2 seconds away from not actually walking through that door, and just having that faith and letting go of that fear and listening to the voice of God and obeying his voice, it opened doors that I just honestly, I couldn't open for myself at all. So just that voice, listening to his voice, allowing him to kind of guide me in every area of my life. Like, God, what do you want me to do today? Who do you want me to talk to? Who do you want me to reach out to? And if I miss my chance, like, do you want me to reconnect with that person? You know? So it's just like really just allowing God to, you know, direct my path, you know?
I love that. I was saying that to a sister in Christ earlier. I was like, it's really just going to God about everything. And I was like, when you go to God about, like you said, should I talk to that person? God, can you give me discernment? And it's easy when things are bad. You be like, oh, I don't want to bother that. But even in the good, this person could sing well, they present well. But God, do you want me to talk to them? or let's be even more specific, is this the season to even talk to them? So I love what you said, Sonia, because I think going to him, even simple things, God, what do you want me to wear today? How you want me to put my hair? What color lipstick should I put on? It's like just having those intimate relationships with him, and just speaking from experience, it absolutely is amazing. Sonia, you have this awesome business that, to me, it really shines a light, because your light was just shining as I was watching you in your passion. And I know what all that you do, and I know what your posts are like, but let our creative audience know about your virtual assistants business, your creativity, and all the special things you got going on. We want to know about your goals, your values, your vision, your spark.
Yes, so a little bit about the virtual assistant business. Right now, it is a virtual assistant business, and I kind of market myself as like a marketing virtual assistant, where I'm helping small businesses and even entrepreneurs, creative entrepreneurs, because a lot of creative entrepreneurs are multi-passionate, and so they need help. And so me being that virtual assistant is assisting them in the admin space and in the content creation space, the social media outreach and things like that. So just helping them in the menial tasks. But I know that the Lord is definitely pivoting that. And he's kind of showing me that I do have, I feel like he's leading me, because, I mean, it's a brand. Artistry is the name. Artistry is the brand. And virtual assistants is kind of like that little branch that comes from the brand. And so I feel like another branch is probably going to be coaching. Another branch is probably going to be, a content production agency. Like, the Lord has been speaking to me about like truly like just not limiting myself. I'm also a multi-passionate entrepreneur. So it's just like, I feel like with the agency model and like helping other businesses, I can put on other people. And so my goal is to really just provide opportunities for other freelancers and people who would love to work under an agency and just learn the ropes, and just helping businesses with the things that they need help in. Christian-based businesses, e-commerce, coaches, all types of creatives. So
I love it. Creative audience, make sure you check Sonia out. Her light shines. Sonia, I want to know what has been, and I'm sure there's been many moments. Let the audience know when you started your virtual assistants business, and also let us know one of your most memorable moments in business for you. It could be for a customer.
Yeah. So I started my virtual assistant business officially in 2021.
Woo!
Yes, 2021 was when I first kind of had the concept of it. In 2022 was when I actually solidified it. I made the page and I started pitching myself. So I just pushed myself full force. I then invested in a coach to kind of teach me really how to manage the back end of my business and how to actually take on clients and making sure that my clients are doing well. And I'm doing well with my clients. So during that time, during my coaching, that was a very just pivotal moment. It helped me to have more confidence in taking on clients. And I'm going to be honest, the clients that I've had so far are not ordinary clients. So the Lord, he opened doors for clients that I couldn't get myself. It was just the Lord, just giving me these clients and helping me to really learn from them and glean from them, as well as helping them. So I know a lot of the people that I work with and I work for are either where I want to be, or where I have been, so I can help them and push them to where, they would want to be.
That is so good. Where you have been or where you want to be, and you're actually blessing these people. Yes. Sonia, I mean, we're the audience. You gotta let us know, and I'm gonna put it up, YouTube fam, as she's talking. Let us know all the tea on all your social media handles, sis, so they can connect with you.
Yes, so I have a YouTube channel. It is at Sonializ SONIAHLY. I have an Instagram, which is my personal/ministry Instagram, which is at Sonializ, and then I have my business page at Artistry.
Yes! Make sure y'all check out Sonia, her virtual assistant business. It is booming, and it is truly, truly, truly gonna bless you. Sonia, what would you tell in this moment? There is a woman who used to be where you are, and she's like, all right, I love God. I want to start my entrepreneurship, but I am so nervous. I'm so scared. What would you say to this woman today in this moment?
I would tell her to lock in with God. The voices in her ear, the voices, the external voices. Don't ask everybody's opinion. Don't try to put everybody's 2 cents into it. Just lock in with God. See what God is saying. If God, He will give you the blueprint. So just spending time in the presence of God will give you the boldness to step forward and let go of that fear. Because that's what I had to do. Like, I had to shut the voices all around me. But my mom, she would like, what are you doing? My brothers are like, what are you doing? Like, you're crazy. Like, this don't make no sense. We've never done that. We've never seen that before. It's like, when you're doing something new and you're basically being that pioneer in that space, you just gotta lock in with God, because God knows what He has planned for you. He knows the steps that you need to take. He's the CEO. Like, surrendering it to God, allowing Him to give you the ideas, and starting. Even if you have to start small, you could still be working on your creative ideas. You don't have to step in and jump in faith like full force. It's just allowing God to just give you the blueprint and just locking in with the Lord.
I mean, audience, our creative audience, y'all heard it from Sonia. Lock in with God. Take the first step. Write the plan down. Do the vision. Pray about it, and then step out on faith and let God bless you. And I've seen that for my own self. I was given my vision in 2020, but I didn't start the business until last year of 2022. And the things that I have seen, the women I have met, the men that I have met have just been absolutely amazing. Yes, Sonia, lock in with God, pray, take out that blueprint, and go after your creative entrepreneurship vision. And that's how we're able to collaborate today, Sonia. You're being on social media doing what you love, and I'm like, I gotta collaborate with Sonia.
You just never know, like, just putting yourself out there, even starting as small as like posting on Instagram. Even like a tip I can give, like when I first started, it was just creating my personal brand. All I did was just post videos and get on live. And then I didn't really know what I wanted to do until the Lord was like, okay, look what's in your hands. What are you really good at? You like to edit videos. You like to post them. Might as well put a price on it and start charging other brands so that you can continue to keep doing the vision and keep, doing the other ministries that the Lord has placed on your heart. So just, starting with what you have too. Like, we don't have to have it all. And just, putting yourself out there, because just every single body that I've ever met has been from social media. A lot of people in that space of entrepreneurship, and the people who mentor me today have been through social media and just me putting myself out there.
That is so good. Oh, Sonia, as we wrap up this creative connectivity, collaboration with God interview, what is one seed that you would like to drop so that way our audience, it could be watered as they're taking it in, and that it could evolve and grow as we are in this last quarter of 2023? What would that seed that you would like to bless our audience with?
I would say, don't lean on your own understanding. Trust God in everything. Just allow Him to lead you in all things, and don't allow fear to have a larger or just a bigger voice than your faith. So just moving off faith, and it's by faith alone. Your works are not going to get you where you need to go. Like, truly faith without works is dead. But just your works alone and your performance and the things that just you striving, it's not compared to when you're abiding under God, you're abiding in his presence, and he, fights for you. So just having that faith and moving when he says to move, obeying when he says to obey. But yeah, I would just say, don't let the fear talk louder than your faith.
Oh, I love that. Lean on God's understanding, not your own, and letting that faith lead you so you won't be fearful. Woo! Sonia, that's good. Because the world will make you want to be fearful, but God is saying, sis, you better go ahead and be fearless. Righteous man of God, you better be fearless in the Lord.
Yes. And just being confident in understanding your identity first, of course. Like, allow God to show you who you are so that when it does come to you putting yourself out there, you're not over here comparing yourself and wondering, why am I not there? Why am I not here? Like, just having that just assurance and allowing God to reassure you and affirm you, because everything has a process. Like, we're not going to get where we want to go. And, God can accelerate. He can do anything that he wants to do, but usually during that process, he wants to prune us. He wants to change us. There's something that we can learn from the process. We have to learn to love the process. So yes, that's what I'm learning right now. It's just learning to love the process.
Learn the process and trust the process of God.
Yes.
Sonia, I want to thank you so much for showing up on Therapeutic Tea Tuesdays podcast as the beautiful, as the virtuous woman, as the creative entrepreneur, virtual assistant of God, in God, with God. I want to thank you so much.
Amen. Thank you so much for having me. It honestly blessed me as much as it blessed you and your audience. Like, honestly, like, the Lord is moving. He's just reminding me of so much that, it definitely I just thank you. Thank you too.
Yes. And I'm sending to you, Sonia, just prayers into your ministry, into your business, and whatever else God has in store for you. This has been amazing. And into a creative one. Make sure you check out Sonia. You have dropped so much wisdom.
Amen. Glory to God.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is why we're going to keep going with the podcast, because it's just been amazing. Sonia, you are more than welcome back.
Glory to God.
Yes, we're not going nowhere. And I want to thank y'all so much for joining us on YouTube every single Tuesday at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We love y'all so much. We are so grateful for y'all, and it's only because of y'all I'm here. I go by Amber Star or Life Coach Miss Star, and my hashtag on Instagram is Life Coach Miss Star. That's on me on all platforms, but you know what I'm saying? YouTube is like my baby. So y'all can catch me every Tuesday, and I do community posts and pop-up. I would love to be connect with you. You can connect with me for life coaching. Go ahead and drop your prayer request at my email address, star.nikki0424@gmail.com. All my information is down below. All Sonia's information was linked on the screen and linked in the show notes. Make sure y'all support. And we just want to say thank you. And I want y'all to drop some comments below and simply say, I am creative. That's the positive affirmation. And go ahead and drop your business. Sonia and we take a look at the comments. We want to support you just as much as you supporting us. That's connectivity.
Amen.
And make sure you subscribe to Sonia's YouTube channel. It is truly a blessing. Thank you again, Sonia. And also now, I always say this to YouTube fam. We are sending an abundance of blessings your way. God bless you.